All right, guys, welcome to our team meeting, the last Monday of August. I don't think I will do one next week since it's Labor Day, just because I know people have plans and are traveling and different things. So I think next week we will have a week off unless I get like inspired with something that I feel like I just have to share with everybody. But so today leading up to the call, I was thinking about, I feel like this is a very silly topic. It's like not silly, but it's very easy, like no-brainer stuff, I think. But I think the issue is that we all overthink it, or that we overlook the importance of like planning out your month and sitting down, especially if you're a teacher and you're heading back to school, or especially if your kids are getting ready to head back to school and your whole routine has changed. It's really an important time to be able to kind of figure out your new normal. And that's okay if it's only your new normal for a couple of months or for a month, but like take advantage of this time now to start planning for next month. So I'm just going to kind of walk you guys through how I plan out my month, some things to think about, and all that good stuff. And then you guys can always ask questions when we're done. So I didn't make like a fancy PowerPoint, but I did just put down some stuff. Okay, so setting yourself up for success, like setting yourself up for a month of success. Make a plan and set goals. I cannot stress the importance of this enough. You guys, if you are on this call, that means that you take coaching as more than a hobby. Like, you're not here as a discount coach, probably. If you're on this call, you're here because you want to learn, because this is a business. This is a business. Like, this is a job. At any job you go to, they're going to have like a monthly calendar. They're going to have a schedule. You're going to have like things that you would follow. You're going to probably have personal goals. You're probably going to have like team-wide goals or different things like that. This is no different. And I think you really have to get into that mindset of like, if you want this to be more than a hobby or more than just being here for the discount, you have to take it seriously and treat it like a job. And I don't mean that you have to prepare to give it 40 hours a week. If you guys were on the National Wake Up Call this morning, I hope that you learned that you can be super duper successful part-time as well. But having a plan and setting goals is super duper important for your business. So just wanted to kind of give a reminder of different things that you guys can use that are in the team page. I'm going to show some other things, but when you're thinking of making a plan and setting goals for yourself, tracking those things is super duper important. So the Win the Week checklist is a great way to track your behaviors every day, to track your behaviors for a week at a time. It feels so good when you sign somebody up and you get to mark off their names here, and just be able to keep up with different things. This is an awesome way for when you're going back through the month to say like, okay, I hit Success Club 5 by the 5th and 10 by the 10th, and then I didn't do anything else for the rest of the month. Let me compare what I was doing the first 2 weeks to the last 2 weeks, and get your Win the Week checklist out and see like where you might have slacked off, where you went harder on those days. And then this like Power Pockets I shared in the team page, when you are scheduling out your month, which I'm going to get ready to talk about, you're going to find a system that works for you. And so if you're working full-time, maybe it's that you wake up in the morning and you're scheduling time to work then, and then maybe once your kids go to bed, you're scheduling a little bit of time. But it's important to literally write down the times that you plan on working your business. And that's okay if you do that a week at a time. I am kind of notorious for sitting down on Mondays and planning out my week and saying like, okay, I know I have this, this, and this. So Monday night and Tuesday night, I'm going to be busy. So Wednesday night, I will leave free, like, so that I can actually see Travis like for the evening. So just having a plan and setting goals, having a plan that goes with your goals. So first of all, I cannot stress the importance of like writing out a calendar, writing out a planner. So whether you have an agenda, whether you have like a physical calendar up on the wall, whether you print off a calendar off of Google, literally all you have to do is Google calendars and they come up. Being able to sit down, take 20 minutes this week, take 20 minutes this upcoming weekend, and write out everything in your entire month. Write out your personal things first. September is ridiculous for me. Like, I am traveling so much that, I sit down and I start marking off all of those things so that I know when I'm going to be able to like fully engage in work activities versus when I'm going to be flying or like, traveling and doing things that I'm not going to be able to like fully engage. Another thing, mark your goals on your calendar. You guys, and Jessie, I'm going to just use you because I saw you comment this earlier, talking about how she wanted to hit Success Club early in September because it sucks being in the last week of the month and pushing that hard at the last week. You guys, we are so good at pushing when there is like this time, like we have to do it. We have 4 days to hit this goal and we have to do it by this date. We are so good at working under that pressure. So I really challenge you to create that pressure for yourself. If anything feels good, it is knowing that like you've hit Success Club the first week of the month, knowing that you have helped at least 3 people, and if you do nothing else the rest of the month, that you have at least set yourself up for like that success, that you accomplished that. It should be your goal, no matter what, to hit Success Club 5 by the 5th. That is 5 days to help 3 people. And I'm going to talk with you guys about how to set yourself up for that success. But 5 days, 3 people, and then set your goal for 10 by the 10th. 10 days, 5 people. When you reframe it like that, it's totally doable. You just have to set those goals for yourself. If you don't write them on your calendar and highlight them and make it big, create that urgency for yourself like it's the last day of the month, you're going to continue to procrastinate and continue to put off all of the behaviors that are going to get you there. And I'm not going to lie, if you are busting your butt right now for Success Club, you might not hit it this month because this business is notorious for what you do now pays off 3 months from now. So you need to start working now for setting yourself up for success for September, October, and November. You don't want to be waiting till the last week to be pushing that hard and not knowing like whether you're going to actually accomplish it that month. You are going to set yourself up for good success next month, but if you get in the mindset to where you're always thinking forward and you're accomplishing it early, and then you can work on other goals throughout the month. Just think, if you hit Success Club by the 5th and your goal is diamond, then you get to spend the rest of the month working with those challengers, catering them, designing them into perfect coaches. So, your time is being invested in them. Your time is being invested into your current coaches. So that's going to get you closer to diamond versus not being able to do anything the last 2 weeks besides like sending invites and following up and doing all of these things that aren't helping you get closer to that diamond goal, if that makes sense. So just keep your goals and your priorities in your brain and mark up your calendar, set your goals, set your like times and things that you need to be doing based on how you want to accomplish those goals. So, there's things that when you start marking on your calendar, you can mark. Every Monday morning is the National Wake Up Call. Every Monday evening, we have our team calls. It's okay if you can't watch these things on this day, but I encourage you, if you know that you can't listen to the National Wake Up Call on Monday morning because you're working, totally understandable, to schedule time, write it out of when you are going to listen to it. Is it Monday on your way home from work? That's what I always did on my commute home. Was Monday evening, I would put the National Wake Up Call on my podcast and I would listen to it on the way home. Is it Tuesday morning on your way to work? Is it Monday night while you're cooking dinner? Is it later in the week? Set those times. Like, if you know you can't hit something, that's fine, but don't just like write it off. Schedule time to get it done. Trainings. If you're participating in a training, make sure that you're scheduling time, or if you're running a training for your coaches, make sure you're scheduling time. I have literally in my schedule every day, check into the new coach training, check into the legendary leadership training, check into blah, blah, blah. So 1, I don't forget to do those things. They're a priority on my calendar. And 2, like I can see that I already divvied out time for those so that it's not Monday night at 11 o'clock and someone asked a question way early this morning and I totally didn't ever like make it a time to check into the group. So if you're a part of trainings or if you are running trainings, schedule those out. Schedule out sneak peeks, you guys. Once again, you run your business. I normally do like a coaching sneak peek once a month. You don't have to do yours when I do the team one. Like, this is your business. If you and one of your coaches, or you want to partner up with another coach in the company or another coach in our team page and run your own sneak peek. If you're trying to hit diamond and you want to run a sneak peek every week, awesome, do it. If you are wanting to hit, Success Club really duper early and you think that running a challenge group sneak peek the first week is going to get you there, do it. Like, sit down, keep your goals in mind, and write out your schedule. Schedule these things based on what works for you, what makes sense for you. Same thing with your groups. If you think that September, it might be really useful to run a free group, schedule that out now. Know when your free group's going to be and have it make sense to what your goal is with that free group. Is that free group to get you Success Club points for September, or is it hopefully to set you up for success for October? That's going to determine where you should place your free group, and also what the free group is. If you don't have any inkling to run a free group in September, don't do it if you're not excited about it. But say you do have kids going back to school, or you're going back to school, or some other change is happening and you think it would be valuable to help other moms going through a similar situation, or to help yourself be accountable to those things by opening up a group, then do one that makes sense for you. Create it, schedule it out, when it's going to be, and have it make sense for your goals. Your accountability groups. You should always know when your September group's going to start, when your October group's going to start. You guys, I can tell you, my groups start the first Monday of every month, so I can tell somebody 6 months from now when my group is going to start. When you go into September and you're marking your calendar, you need to know when your October group's going to start. So when you want to create urgency for people needing to be signed up by, and having those dates is really super duper helpful, so that you're creating urgency all the time when you're talking to people. I'll message people and say, my September group is kicking off Monday. If you would need to order by this date to make sure you got everything in and we got your meal plan set up for you to be able to start by then. That's why knowing when your October group is helps you, so that you can have a cutoff date for the time people need to sign up, so that you can have a prep week date or whatever your group is. So it's not just looking at September, it's looking at October. You can plan out the rest of the year if that's helpful, at least your group wise, so that you know when to tell people. And say you invite someone to a September group and they're not ready, you can say, awesome, my October group starts on the 1st. I would love to have you in there. Say you invite someone to the October group and they're not ready. You can say, my November group starts on this day, starts on the 5th, November 5th, I would love to have you in there. So just always be planning ahead. And life, like I said, Beachbody is not your life. If you have travel for your full-time job, if you have travel with your family, if you have different things like that, put them on your calendar. Have one place. I definitely think it's helpful to have a Beachbody calendar and other calendars, but I think there should be somewhere where you can see it all at once. And it's just one time a month that you sit down and you can say, I have this, 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 and this, so this is when I'm going to do this. Also, when you have this written out calendar, I can't stress enough how helpful this is to show your spouse, to help them understand what you're working towards, what time you're going to devote, and go over it. Melanie Mitro always talks about how every Sunday her and Matt sit down with her calendar and she'll say I have, we're pushing for this, so we have team calls on these nights, I won't be available, but the rest of the nights we're good. And when your husband can see, one, that you are treating this like a business and taking this seriously, they're typically more inclined to understand how valuable your time is, understand that you're this is your job, this is something that's really important to you. And it gives them the feeling of okay, I get a say in this. So if I were to sit down with Travis and say, I need this, this, and this, and he says, oh, babe, I have this plan that night already. Is there anything we can move around? It makes him feel like he's a part of this too. And it's not just me saying coaching comes first all the time. It's giving him a say in my schedule and making him feel a part of it. So based on your schedule, once you have the schedule down of when your sneak peeks are going to be, when all these things are, start looking at planning ahead on your posts. And I am not saying you have to plan out a whole month of posts. That's not what I'm saying at all. I typically try to plan out like a week of posts at a time. So this morning I gave myself, like, I just wrote down like what type of posts I need to be having based on like the coach happy hour tomorrow night, you know, Transformation Tuesday, different things that I'm working towards. I just gave myself like a rough sketch of things that needed to happen. So like this post planner is in our team page in the file section. So you could do something like bold posts are no matter what. I have no matter what posts written down for this week that I have to do a happy hour call to action tonight. I'm going to do a happy hour call to action last chance post tomorrow around like 5:30. I'm going to do a transformation post that later that night to kind of breadcrumb for my next group. And so I'm always thinking ahead. You can do this a week at a time, but if you know when your challenge groups are, you know when your sneak peeks are, it will help you plan out saying, okay, I need to be posting breadcrumbs about coaching a week ahead of time before my happy hour. So if my happy hour is on Tuesday, I want to be starting to like breadcrumb coaching from the Tuesday prior until that Tuesday, and then throw in like a happy hour on Sunday evening. I mean, a call to action on like Sunday evenings and a Monday and a last chance Tuesday or something like that. But once you can see all of that, you're not like working backwards. It's not like you say, oh my gosh, there's a happy hour. I wanted to do a happy hour on Tuesday and I haven't even talked about it yet. Like, or I want to do a challenge group sneak peek and I haven't even, like, nobody's even going to know that I'm running a group right now. You can sit down. I used to on the calendar have like when a happy hour was, and then I would put like bullet points for like 5 days prior so that I knew that on those 5 days I needed to make sure that if I wasn't already, I was breadcrumbing coaching on those days so that I was constantly talking about coaching. People were constantly seeing different aspects of it. And so if you've ever read the book Jab, Jab, Punch by Gary Vaynerchuk, that's what he talks about. Like your jabs are your breadcrumbs, and then you're going to punch with a call to action about what you've been breadcrumbing about. But you can do that when you have it all written out. So know when your call to actions are going to be posted. If you are, really pushing to hit Success Club early in the month, you probably want to be doing call to actions the last week of the month prior. Hello, while we're doing this call tonight to set you up for success for next month. You probably want to be doing them the first week of the month hard, talking about your challenge groups, a ton of breadcrumbing about your group just starting and how excited you are, showing transformations of your girls from last month, showing your transformation story, showing all of those type of things. And then same thing with near the end of the month or before your challenge group sneak peek. Same thing with like your happy hour. If you know when your like coaching sneak peek is, you know when to post those call to actions. And you guys just in general should be posting a coaching transformation a coaching breadcrumb. I would love to say like 2 to 3 times a week at least. Coaching breadcrumbs are just ways that you literally just kind of mention some aspect of coaching that has changed your life. This is not, hey, I'm a coach. This is like working on my group, or I'm on a training, or, for instance, the Boss Babe brunch this Sunday where I got to meet up with local girls, like posting about that is a breadcrumb, like just sharing different aspects of coaching that I love. When you are constantly talking about coaching, you're constantly having it in the back of people's heads that they can do that too, or it at least piques their interest. So then when you talk about having a sneak peek for it, they're like, yeah, I have been watching. Yeah, I have been wondering how you do that, or like what you actually do. So maybe I'll join that. And you should be sharing your transformation frequently. I would say at least twice a week. Some sort of transformation of like your story. When people are swiping through your social media, they need to see that you're a product of the product. They need to see some sort of transformation that's going to catch their eye. And I'm going to be completely honest, transformations for me get way more attention than anything else I post. So I post them. I try to post at least twice a week a transformation because it's driving people to my page. So I cannot stress the importance of starting now for next month. The reason I typically hit Success Club so early is because the last week of this month is planning for the next month and following up like a freaking boss. And then the first week of September is going to be following up with people who showed interest in the last couple of months. So ways you can follow up, and we've done a ton of calls on follow-ups. If you look in the team page, if you look on the YouTube channel, on my YouTube thing, we have done calls about follow-ups all the time. But challenger check-in. So checking in with past challengers. You can go to your back office and print out your entire customer list and just start alphabetically and start checking in with them. Just let them know that you would love to have them in your next month's group, like you're here to help them whenever. And so that way, like you may get somebody who's like, oh yeah, I really, like I need to get back into things. And then you nonchalantly can talk about Lift 4, or you can nonchalantly ask if they, awesome, I would love to have you in there. Are you needing any Shakeology or Energize and Recover? Anything like that. Hello, you get them back into your group, get them back on Shakeology, get them back on Energize and Recover. This might be the time that they take off. I can't even tell you how many times like people have to be in my group several times. They have to quit, they have to fall off before they like get back in the swing of things and like go full force and end up being coaches for me once they fall in love with the process. So don't give up on your past challengers. You can get success points from them, getting them like reinitiated, restarted into your groups. And then anybody who has ever shown prior interest. You guys, one big thing that I do with the planning ahead part for the month is at the end of every month, like it's on my to-do list for tomorrow to create another follow-up list. So like go back through the last couple of my follow-up lists, check off people who have signed up, check off people who like have just, that I don't like have any inkling in anymore, and create a new list so that I am working from a list of people. I'm going to say like, hey girl, I know you were interested in joining my fitness accountability group. I just wanted to give you a heads up that we get started on Monday. I would love to have you in there. Are you still interested in getting started with your health and fitness goals? Bam. Quick and easy peasy. Follow up like a freaking boss. The fortune is in the follow up. I cannot stress enough that 90% of my business comes from following up with people who showed me interest a year ago or 6 months ago or last month. It's so rare that somebody shows interest and signs up that same day or like that same month even, that you constantly just have to be following up and showing them that you care, showing them what to expect in a coach. And start now, like I said, planning out when your September group's going to be, what groups those are going to be, when your October groups are going to be, when you need to be posting ahead for those, creating lists for those things. So say, you have current challengers who you think have done a round of 21 Day Fix, might be awesome for Lift 4. Create a list for those people, reach out to them personally, let them know how excited you would be to like have them join round 2 of Lift 4 with you guys. We're going to be I'm starting the second round of Lift 4 the third week of the month. So halfway through the month. This is a perfect time to get people, like get them set up with Lift 4 and get them into a group for that. You can get them signed up now, have them do a week of before Lift 4 or 2 weeks of before Lift 4, and then jump into start your second round with you that third week. So creating lists, creating those follow-up lists, creating people that coaching list of people that, your challengers that you really want to reach out to because you think they would make awesome coaches, friends and family that you think would make awesome coaches or challengers and things like that. Creating those lists. Finding people, utilizing whatever strategy you have to find people on social media. I have been using Gary Vee's trick for, not trick, but his strategy of what's it called? Leaving your 2 cents on Instagram. And I have been just like trying to do that like 5 minutes a day, just kind of going through and finding those people, like leaving quality comments on people who look interested to me and just kind of breadcrumbing getting my name out there that way. So like I'm finding people now. So hopefully those people are going to be ready or like start following me. And those are going to be people potentially for me to sign up in the future. Polls on your Insta stories, utilizing polls so that you can create a list of interest. Have maybe your answers be, I want to sign up now. I want to sign up next month. Awesome. Put them on a list. Respond to them, say like, oh my gosh, I would love to get you started. I'm going to follow back up with you on blank date because my October group starts on the 1st. I'll be back in touch with you then. That's why knowing when your groups are going to be and when the last day that they can order needs to be is so, so, so important. And then call to actions. If you're posting call to actions, if you're posting transformations, those are lists that you can create of people who are liking your posts that you can message and just start conversations with. Those are people who respond or like it or join a group if you have the group link that you can like start conversations with and create that list. Okay. So that was just kind of my spiel about setting yourself up for success. Last week of the month should be about thinking ahead. And see, that's why it's so important to hit Success Club early in the month, so that you're not spending this week struggling and, working so hard on hitting that goal. You can start working on your next month's goals. If you know when you want to hit diamond by, you can start planning that out. If you know that you want to hit diamond by November 1st or whatever your date is, take that goal backwards and say, like, okay, I need 4 coaches for that to happen. So I need to sign up a coach every 2 weeks, or I need to sign up a coach a week so that I have, a solid diamond to work from, or I need to run an emerald training because I have the coaches, but I don't have the emeralds, or, stuff like that. So just always thinking ahead. I feel like I just talked a lot. I hope that was helpful. Does anyone have any questions about that?